Yes, how are you? I hope you're having a much better day than I am. Um, we're at what, April 18th? Freaking snowing outside. What the hell is that? I also think I broke my USB adapter for my headset because it doesn't seem to want to work. Oh well. I will have to make do. It's not like the adapter's all that expensive anyway. It's only like a little $10 piece, so not a big deal. How is everybody? How are you? How are you? Before I hopped into StreamYard to start the stream tonight, I noticed that Brett Keane was streaming, and guess who he has on stream with him tonight? It's the one and only Gary. Now Gary had said something about atheism is dying, of course, because he just goes on and on. He was talking a bit about Shanny and Rev and how Shanny and Rev have been done so dirty, because all they want to do is make videos about eating and playing video games and how they should be allowed to do that. And it's like, he's just as oblivious as they are. I mean, how else? He would have to be, right? He would have to be able to convince Shanny and Rev, or for Shanny and Rev to convince him to pay all their bills. So, I mean, between the three of them, how many brain cells do you think that they have? Not enough, says I. My biopsy was negative. That's awesome! Oh, that is wonderful news. I'm so happy for you, Dinah. That's really, really good news. We're kind of waiting for some similar news on my end, on my family. So let's hope the positivity continues. But that is so amazing. I know exactly how stressful that struggle can be when you're waiting, because you're just playing a waiting game. Like, can you find out? Can you tell me the results? Like, I need to know. So that's amazing, though. I'm so happy. I bet you're so relieved. I bet you're relieved. That's good news. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's good news. I'm very happy to hear that for you. All right, let's get on to some entertainment. Now, what we're going to be doing is picking up from yesterday's stream. So this is Shanny's stream from August 8th, 2020, when she's losing her mind just a wee bit about drag making contents or comments about her porn, her OnlyFans content. She is very, very big mad because someone has an opinion of her that she does not like, and that somehow translates to sexual harassment and makes drag a rapist. Don't follow the logic there, but again, it's Shanny, so why are we really surprised, right? Can't really be. Dear computer, I'd really appreciate it if you would cooperate with me. That would be awesome. There we go. This internet, man, I tell you. On top of that, it's snowing too, so not a surprise.
Mentally ill you are.
Oh, so we're attacking people for being mentally ill. Okay. Just needed to refresh where we were on this, but now we're attacking people for being mentally ill. Shanny, the queen of, using her mental illness as a crutch.
You seriously need to get some fucking therapy, Dragna.
He's already said he's in.
You're sexually harassing women. You're harassing G-Man. You never leave him alone.
Well, see, I mean, Gary's kind of dumb. Gary kind of does a lot of harassing himself. So I think if you're going to have a talk to anybody about who's harassing who, like, Gary makes videos of himself going down the street, shouting at people and getting into like verbal screaming matches with people that don't agree with his theology. So, maybe you want to talk to him about that?
And it's constant, over and over and over again. And all you can do is report you, and YouTube does nothing.
See, this is the thing, Shanny. When you report somebody and they're not breaking TOS, their videos don't get taken down. So you'd think you'd kind of clue in that there's no violations there. Just because you are mad and you think there's a violation doesn't mean that that's actually true.
Nothing for your sexual advances, your sexual harassment.
Wait, when did this turn into sexual advances, though? I have not once ever seen drag make a sexual advance towards Shanny. I've heard him quite often talk about how he's repulsed by Shanny. That I completely understand. But that's not exactly a sexual advance. So this is just more examples of Shanny just making shit up to make herself look more like a victim.
Emotional abuse.
Oh, now he's emotionally
You are the
abusing
most
her. Oh,
emotionally
no.
abusive piece of shit fucking male I have ever met. And you are lucky this is online and you are not in my presence.
Oh, now she's going
You
to
are so
threaten.
lucky you are not in my physical presence.
Well, we already know how you like to beat people up, Shanny. You have an arrest record for attacking men. So that we can kind of take seriously because you've been arrested for beating up Rev. You've been arrested for attacking your brother-in-law. So, I mean, between the two, I think that's the most believable thing that you've said.
So lucky. You are a pig of a man and disgusting. How dare you sexually harass?
But you're a pig and you're disgusting. So you're allowed to voice your opinion about drag, but how dare drag voice his opinion about you? Like, does she not ever sit down and think about her own hypocrisy here? Like, she's doing the very thing that she is the big mad at drag for.
A woman. How dare you?
How dare you?
I know there are a lot of porn stars that need to be apologized. They do. They have been sexually harassed. I don't care if they've done porn. If you're talking ill about a woman's body and talking about her sexually, it's unwanted. It's sexually harassment.
It's sexually harassment. She's so big mad she can't even get the words out right.
Just turn that around. It's sexually harassment.
Sexually
Please, don't sexually harass women and think just because a woman's sexual, she deserves to be fucking sexually harassed. That is absolutely disgusting. And you have no right over a woman's mind, over her body, over her emotions sexually. You have no right. You have no right.
Drag wasn't trying to get that. All he was doing was sharing his opinion on the content that you put out. See how she's really trying to build this up as much as she possibly can to make herself the queen of the victims? Like, oh, this woman is so sad and pathetic.
You have no fucking right. And I will go to my grave saying that because you violated me just like every other piece of shit man out there.
You shared your opinion. You violated me. Disgusting drag. How could you? Oh, like when we talk about like using the phrase snowflake, this would be what I would see as a snowflake. Because again, she's building this victimhood for herself so that she can be the queen of the victims, so that she feels justified in all the nasty shit that she says. Like, how can she... Shanny.
You're lucky you're not in my presence. You're lucky.
I'm sorry, reader. I didn't mean to yell at you.
Dragnot lied about his military service. I can prove it, Shannon. Good. Prove it. Prove it. I've seen his discharge papers. Oh. Well, I'm pretty sure they're probably not good.
Wait. I can disprove that drag was in the military. I've seen his discharge papers. Wouldn't that, like, prove that he was in the military? Because how would you have discharge papers to the military if you weren't already in the... Oh my god, these people. Hello, husband.
I don't know if those 80s porn stars are alive, but Ron Jeremy and Janet Jack me. I'm sorry. Thank you, OJ Mayer. That's very strong of you.
How dare you share an
to
opinion
apologize
I don't
for your
like.
sexual harassment. We can all grow and realize we were fucking wrong with doing certain things.
We were fucking wrong.
Ron. I was wrong saying the N-word to G-Man. I was wrong about that completely, and how I reacted after that, completely inappropriate. But I learned from it, and I'm glad I did. Now, drag can learn not to sexually harass women online anymore. Or we could go to court.
Neither of those things happened, though. Because one, drag wasn't sexually harassing you. He was just sharing his opinion. Number two, you never took him to court. So, obviously, you didn't have a case, or you didn't have the money, or a little bit of both.
He should be taking this video down, because I could literally destroy his whole entire life with that video.
And you didn't.
If I just give it to the right people.
This video didn't age well, like, at all.
No one would ever respect him again.
I respect him.
Because he sexually harassed me and my husband. You have no right to sexually harass someone if they do pornography. It's still unwanted. It's still unwanted. I don't care.
Please don't tell me this is 45 minutes of her just repeating the same phrase over and over again, that she was been sexually harassed and it was unwelcomed and unwanted.
You slept with a woman. You still don't have a right to sexually harass her. You don't. I don't care what you say. You don't. You have no right to sexually harass a woman. Don't matter if you slept with her. Don't matter if she was in pornography. My OnlyFans was stolen by Dragna. I banned him off my channel twice on OnlyFans. And he continued to steal the fucking content.
How do you have proof that it was Drag that stole the content? I haven't actually seen any of Drag's reviews from that time period, so I don't know if it was actually him that, you know, paid to see the OnlyFans and took the content. I don't know. But with the way that people subscribe to Shanny to get her content, I mean, if it wasn't Drag, there was plenty of other people that would gladly do it. There seems to be a trend out there that if somebody has an OnlyFans, especially like a big YouTuber, like I remember Onision, he had an OnlyFans, and it was just kind of a thing where people would go out, they would pay to have access to OnlyFans, and they would make a video saying, I paid for Onision's OnlyFans, so you don't have to, and here's what I saw. You know, so like that seems to be a kind of a going thing. So, I mean, just because your content was taken off of OnlyFans, it doesn't mean that it was Drag. It could have been anybody, because there's lots of people that are willing to do that to you, Shanny.
And he made this Sexy for Christ on Twitter, and he's making money off my own content there.
Yeah, that's where I saw it, Sexy for Christ. Don't look it up. If you haven't seen it, don't look it up. I can't. Shanny, why did you reply? You have to understand, Drag is the scapegoat for anything and everything wrong in their lives. Oh yeah. I've kind of figured that out, that it's always Dragnot's fault. Like, that's where the whole shit ninjas. I can't talk tonight. Good fucking Lord. The whole idea of the shit ninjas, you know, because everything is all Drag's fault. Yeah. So they got to have somebody that they can blame. And I mean, I've been in that position, like same with Jenny Poo Poo. You know, like anytime her content was flagged, or, you know, someone went and replied to her shit that didn't agree with her, it was a troll sent by me, you know. So, I mean, I understand that that mindset is that they kind of focus on one person. It's always that person's fault. Couldn't possibly be anybody else. It's always that one person.
And he's getting away with this sexual harassment, this revenge porn. Well, there's active steps going on.
What, revenge porn? What? Revenge porn is like if you post your ex's shit without permission, like stuff that wasn't meant to be online. You posted content on the internet with the intentions of people to see it. So that's not revenge porn, Shanny.
There's active steps, and YouTube does nothing.
Oh, yeah, always. Always. They never take accountability for anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you need to know. There's fucking stuff going on, and they do nothing. And he's going completely against terms of service because it's sexual harassment.
No, he's not. Because if he was, he would have gotten shut down. But, again, Shanny seems to like to think that she has the ability to twist the terms of service to fit whatever her little warped head thinks. So anything that Shanny's done is not breaking terms of service when it actually is. But everything that Drag does is breaking terms of service. Funny how that works.
It's completely against sexual harassment. It's just yeah, it's very frustrating because YouTube is just proving that they are wow. Yeah, YouTube is proving they don't protect their content creators. Instead, they make a hostile environment for their content creators. Yeah. I'm in a hostile environment right now. I have a man literally sexually harassing me, and there's no one sticking.
I have a man that's sexually harassing me with content that's off of YouTube. Like, does she think that YouTube is supposed to protect her all throughout the internet and that their terms of service are supposed to apply, like, everywhere? Or is it that she just thinks that YouTube is supposed to white knight for her because her feelings are hurt and she doesn't like somebody else's opinion. Because that's not against TOS, darling.
Enough for me or saying anything about it because they think it's funny. They think sexual harassment is funny.
And YouTube's not sticking up for me because they think it's funny.
These people are the ones who put all these hate fucking videos out on me when they were the most hateful ones out of the whole thing. Those videos you saw me talking about these certain subjects and yelling was me reacting to these horrible people that have been sexually harassing me for years. But this has gone to a point where I can't do this anymore.
How many times? Oh, this was like, what, almost 2 years ago? And she started saying it back then? And how many times has she been back since then? Methinks you don't mean it, Shanny.
I can't do this anymore.
But you do.
Like, what do I do to protect myself? How do I fucking really, truly protect myself if YouTube won't protect me from a sexual predator like Dragnot? He's a sexual predator.
Now he's a sexual predator. So sharing his opinion now means that he is a sexual harasser. He's a rapist. All for sharing his opinion. She's throwing all these labels at him to make him look like he's attacking her when all he's doing is sharing his opinion. And Shanny gets so up in arms that all she would have to do is not watch drag shit. That's all. That's all she would have to do. She could go on with her life and just completely ignore drag, and that would be fine. But she's got to obsess over everything that he says and does, and then somehow turn him into the oppressor, and she's the poor, pretty princess victim.
Yeah. He's sexually harassing women and men. He sexually harasses G-Man all the time because he says G-Man's gay. Do you think it's appropriate to constantly call someone gay who is homosexual and sexually harass someone because they are gay or you think they are gay? Is that appropriate? But he gets away with it. He gets away with sexually harassing everyone. He even admits he sexually harassed his wife to be in with him.
No, he didn't. She just makes a ton of shit up, doesn't she? She just, like, I don't understand how you can get up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, and be like, I'm going to go through the day today, and I'm just going to make up my own facts, because that's the delusional world I live in. Everything that I say is right. And the more I make shit up, the more my dumb audience is going to believe me. Like, I don't understand how you can get through life just being dishonest like that.
He's so fucking rapey. And nobody does anything about this. They just let him get away with it.
Because maybe he's not doing all the things that you say he's doing, Shanny. Could that be it? That maybe that you're just kind of blowing it out of proportion and making yourself a victim when you're not?
It's very weird. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it's not funny.
It's hilarious, actually.
Like, the Dragoons really have to put this dude in his place because he's becoming dangerous. He's becoming a complete sexual deviant, and you're giving him and enabling him to do.
It's not YouTube the responsibility to protect you in the circumstance. Yeah, exactly. Like, YouTube has their terms of service, and their only responsibility is to make sure that the content that is posted on their site falls within that YouTube terms of service. Right? Your personal safety is your responsibility, not YouTube's. You know, like, but again, Shanny doesn't really understand what personal responsibility is.
Do it by laughing at it, by thinking it's funny, by saying, oh, it's funny, this is good. This dude is twisted. He got kicked out of the military because of mental problems. And he's harassing civilians. He's fucked up in the head, and you're enabling him because you think he's funny.
Wow. He's openly admitted that he's gone to therapy and is actively going to therapy. When was the last time you went to therapy voluntarily, Shanny? Because if I recall correctly, the only time you've been to therapy is when the court ordered you to, because you had your kids taken away. So there's that. I believe you were also court ordered to go to therapy when you beat your husband and got arrested for domestic violence. So I think, Shan, you should maybe do some self-reflection before flinging these accusations at somebody else.
God damn it, fucking wake up, people. This man is sick and you're not helping him. He's sick. really fucking sick. He's sexually harassing people.
She's big mad.
Like,
oh, I can't do that.
Ugh.
Poor Shan.
So gross. So fucking gross.
I don't like somebody else's opinion. It's so gross. Boo-hoo.
How could you joke like that?
Why not?
How could you honestly joke like that?
You joke about all kinds of shit along the same lines of Shanny. So why is it okay when you do it, but when somebody else does it, it's not okay? Like, do you not see the double standards here, lady?
Like, you men have no respect for women at all. None. This is why, if something ever happened between me and Jason, I would never want to get in a relationship with another man ever again.
I don't think there is another man out there that would want to be in a relationship with you, honey. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I mean, if we can smell you from 20 feet away, I don't think there's going to be any other man other than Rev that's going to want to get near you.
Because how you show me how men are completely disrespectful.
I hate all men, and I'm going to blame it on drag. That's why I have the attitude that I do. It's all drag's fault.
Reprobate, disgusting, perverted slobs who do not know how to talk to a woman at all. I don't give a fuck about your fucking jizz, you freak.
What?
Did you think it was going to turn me on hearing about your fucking disgusting seed?
Well, considering that you messaged him, asking him about his dick, and inviting him and his wife to come and have an orgy with you in Colorado, maybe? Like, I mean, and it's one thing, see, Shanny, you sent that proposition to Drag in his DMs. So you directly sent it and propositioned him, and that would be sexual harassment, and he turned you down. That made you upset. But see, Drag just making the comment about that, not immediately directed at you, just sharing his opinion online, that's not sexual harassment, honey. But what you were doing absolutely was sexual harassment, because you were propositioning Drag directly in his inbox. So we might want to think about that a little bit.
Ugh, get off my channel. Ugh. Like, what is wrong with you men?
What's wrong with you, Shanny?
It's like you don't realize you're talking to a mother or a daughter.
What does that got to do with anything?
Such utter scumbag.
I mean, considering what kind of mother you are, why would you deserve respect for that? You're a terrible mother. You let your children piss all over their bedrooms, sleep in filth, clean their bathroom so that it's covered in feces. You barely feed them or pay any attention to them. They have to come to you to beg for food. So, I mean, I don't think you get to throw around the mother card there, Shanny, because you aren't doing those boys any favors.
Men are. I swear to God, men are such fucking scumbags. I swear if I ever see my sons have any type of inclination.
I mean, she's definitely not wrong. She's definitely not wrong, because there is a lot of trashy men out there. I'm going to be doing a video in the near future about some of these things because I've been posting on my Twitter about it. So she's not entirely wrong. But methinks that those trashy men even wouldn't go near her with a 10-foot pole, because some of the things I've heard about the way she smells and the way she looks and the way that she does not take care of herself, it's gross. Just gross. I mean, I don't want to be around people that don't look after themselves, because just dirty bothers me. And I mean, it's one thing to be dirty if you're out in the mud doing work, doing, playing a sport or whatever, and you come in and take a shower and that's fine. But Shanny, who sits in her bed and just festers in her own filth and BO for days and days and days, doesn't wash her hair, doesn't wash her face, doesn't wash her mouth, doesn't brush her teeth, and she just festers in all that gross bacteria. Like, I can only imagine how disgusting that bedroom smells. When you're festering in your own filth and then you think that you're going to be able to get into another relationship with somebody, like, no, that's repulsive. That's repulsive. Like, you can't just not take care of yourself and expect somebody to want to get with you. Like, no, thank you. Just, I wouldn't go near Shanny even if I was wearing a hazmat suit. Like, no thanks. Gross.
Like you guys, or talk to a woman like you guys, or even come near to sexually harassing a woman like you guys, I will slap them so fucking hard in the back of their head, they'll have a fucking concussion.
So we're just, so that we're establishing it this here, is that violence is okay, making empty accusations is okay, but how dare Drag share his opinion? Like, are we seeing this major double standard here? So it's okay for Shanny to do all of these terrible things, including being violent, physically violent, but how dare Drag share his opinion? My goodness.
Because you do not do that to a woman, period. You do not
Glad
sexually
I'm not
harass
eating
a woman.
at the moment,
you
right?
do not degrade a woman sexually. That is disgusting and violating.
Yes, I do.
And rapist. And I will say it till I'm blue in the frickin' face.
Do it.
A long time ago, this is why I'm a lesbian, dude, Becky. I understand, girl. Like, seriously, Jason's close to a lesbian. He's close.
What? Did she just totally emasculate him? Never in a million years would I claim that my husband is close to a lesbian. Oh my fucking god. I'm gonna choke. Wow. She just totally emasculated him on stream. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't feel sorry for Rev. I really don't. But that's fucking hilarious.
I don't get a lot of dick, but I definitely get a lot of pussy licking. You know what I mean?
Whoa. I don't get a lot. And she gets mad because how dare we voice our opinion on her personal lives? We don't know anything about her personal life. But here she is telling us that Jason's almost a lesbian and doesn't give her a lot of dick. No wonder she's so angry.
Which is excellent. So it's what he prefers. He's a lesbian. So
oh my god.
No, I'm like 99% lesbian at this point because I hate men so much because of how disgusting they are. Like it's
Rev
like,
is sitting beside her listening to all of this. Wow.
It's always about the genitals with them. It's always about the fucking crotch. It's always about their goddamn dick. It's always about their fucking semen. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't care about your dick or your balls or your semen.
Then why are you listening to Drag Talk? Like, if you are really so upset by the shit that he has to say, then why do you take time out of your day to listen to his opinion? Like, this is what I don't get. Jenny Poo Poo did the exact same thing. She bitched about, I don't want to, you're always trying to take my opinion. I don't like your opinion. I don't agree with your opinion. Blah, 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 blah. Well, then why are you listening to me? Why do you come to my content and bitch about it? It's the exact same thing. If you don't like what Drag has to say, then why do you waste your time listening? You just turn it off and move on and do something else. Like, take responsibility for your own happiness here. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. It's not that difficult.
Why do you have to talk to me about that? Why do you have to come to me like that?
It's almost like she's trying to make out like Drag actually came and had a conversation. So she's again trying to twist the narrative to Drag was sitting on stream, doing a live stream with two other people talking about her porn, to all of a sudden it's now Drag coming to her and talking to her about this shit. But when you live stream, that's not how that works, But I mean, whatever she can do, again, to turn the narrative to make her look more like a victim.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, you are.
Like, if you did that to me in person, I would kick you straight in the fucking balls and get away with it.
See? And again, I don't like your opinion, so that gives me the right to physically harm you. I have the right to physically attack you because I don't like what you're saying. So she resorts to violence so easily. But I mean, it totally glazes over the fact that all of the stuff that she's talking about is somehow okay, but drag sharing his opinion is not.
Because I tell the police, you did a fucking sexual advance to me. That was really freaking rapist. And I didn't know how you were going to act. And I'll get away with it. You know why? I'm borderline.
And again, using her mental illness as an excuse to be violent with somebody else. Like, this is the scumbag that Shanny is. Feeding into the stigma that people use their mental illness as a crutch to be assholes. And I'm sorry, no. I am mentally ill. I have multiple mental illnesses. But I don't use them as an excuse to be assholes to people. I don't say, oh, well, I said that because I have a mental illness. You should forgive me for it. Like, she's flat out saying that because she's borderline and she'd make a false claim to a police officer that it would make her okay to physically attack someone because she doesn't like their opinion. This is the kind of person that Shanny is.
We act that way. I will never have a man degrade me and get away with it. I will never have a man come to me like a rapist and get away with it. I will come to you with complete vitriol hatred because you deserve vitriol hatred. You're an abuser of womankind. You hate women. No man.
She's just building and building and building and building up this narrative as much as it's almost like she's throwing like a little pep rally for herself to make drag worse and worse and worse. And it makes her easier, to hate him, to make her look more like that crown of victimhood just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, doesn't it, Shanny?
Man who loves women would treat a woman like that. Period. You always come to G-Man and say he's gay. I think you are, because you really hate women because of how you speak about them.
I mean, the fact that drag has a voluntary harem, I think that kind of speaks for itself there, Shan.
Speak about women how Trump talks about women. You're that disgusting. You're disgusting like Trump. You're like grab them by the pussy type of man. Pig. And then you talk about homosexual shit about regarding my husband.
You just called him a lesbian. You literally just said that he doesn't give you the dick. And he's as close to a lesbian. What the fuck? Like, literally 2 minutes ago, you called your own husband a lesbian. What the fuck?
That is the most freakish thing I've ever seen.
She's got to defend her wife.
What straight man wants to see another man pegged?
Okay, let's not knock the pegging here, though, dude. I mean, no kink shaming. Come on now.
Like, I just want to know what straight man really wants to see another man pegged.
Why are we kink shaming?
You really need to get in touch with who you truly are. I think you already are, though. I think, but you're too much of a coward to come out to the public and say it, though.
I mean, what? He literally live streams it for hundreds of people, and that somehow makes him too coward to come out in the public and say it? How does that connect those dots for me, Shanny?
You won't look so much like a man to your family. What, your family going to completely disown you if you are? Is that what it is? And you afraid that you're going to lose all your frickin' favors? Your inheritance if you do?
What?
Is that what it is? I think so.
What?
You were not sexually harassed? I was sexually harassed. Sexual harassment, behavior characterized by making of unwelcome and inappropriate sexual remarks or physical advances in a workplace or other professional or social situation.
So because she considers YouTube her workplace, and because drag Drag made a video, his stream on YouTube. She's considering that the workplace, and that somehow translates to her to sexual harassment. Good fucking Lord, could this woman be more delusional?
That is sexual harassment. It was unwelcomed. It was sexual harassment. Go fuck yourself. Get off my page. Yeah, you're banned. I'm not going to tolerate some man telling me and invalidating me how I should freaking feel about a situation.
Well, how about another woman? I'll happily invalidate everything that you've said in this stream so far, honey. I had no problem with that.
Am I supposed to laugh at a man degrading me?
Yeah.
I think you sure find it funny of seeing a woman being degraded sexually.
I see it. I find it funny when Drag shares his opinion about you. Yes, because I think you're a terrible person. So there's that.
You really need to really go to therapy thinking it's funny to see a woman sexually degraded. You're pretty fucked up in the head. You're pretty sick in the head thinking a woman should be sexually degraded.
I think she thinks that the more she says it, the more valid it is.
Completely mentally ill. Get some therapy. But you know what? Usually with sexual offenders, it's very hard for them to have therapy work for them because it's a severe mental illness that should be pretty much cured by.
Oh, so now people that disagree with Shanny, that Shanny thinks that, wow, like, I don't know if you guys saw that, but she just put a finger to her forehead as if somebody's being shot. So she's essentially implying that I just hit myself in the head. That anybody that commits sexual harassment should be killed. Like, could we endorse any more violence in this stream alone, Shanny? You have such a huge problem with Drag sharing his opinion of your content that you put out in the public voluntarily, that makes it okay for you to resort to making empty accusations of Drag being a predator and you resorting to violence and being able to kill somebody for it. Like, she really just kind of, the irony, poof, right over her head. Right over her head.
Jesus says, and you should. The Bible says rape is stonable. Yep. It's a death sentence in the Bible, rape.
The Bible also says that women should be married to their rapists. So I don't think that's quite the book that you wanted to be there, Shan.
Sexually harassing women is also banned in the Bible. And you would be completely stoned if you were in that time. If we were actually in a Muslim civilization and you did that to me, a married woman, your head would have been chopped off.
Oh, so now we're being xenophobic on top of it. Oh my God. We are just really checking all the boxes for this video, aren't we, Shanny?
You know, most cultures, most human beings, most decent humans.
I taught her the word vitriol. I know. I thought that would be a word that she picked up from somebody because that does not seem like a regular word that Shanny would know. Wish we could teach her. Oh, hang on. Wish we could teach her a word and try and get her to use it when she gets back online. That is. With lots of cheese. I know. Well, I said this when I first started watching her and found out that she was using the N-word. And she pronounces the full, like the hard G in the N-word. So it's my hypothesis that she saves up all the G's that she drops off at the ends of the words to be able to use them for the N-word. Yeah, that's my theory.
Human beings know that sexual harassment and degrading a woman's body is one of the most vile things a person can do. And you can continue to make excuses and say it wasn't what it is, but I'm saying it is. And I'm sticking to it. And you can try to get.
But your opinion is not the end all be all there, Shanny. I'm sorry to tell you. That's not how the world works. I know your universe kind of revolves around you. That's just kind of how it works with, individuals. But unfortunately, not everything goes by what you do and say. That's just not how it works. So, I mean, you can bitch and complain about it all you want. You obviously are. But that's not going to change nothing. And obviously, I mean, again, almost 2 years later, nothing has changed. So this really didn't age all that well.
Gaslight it and blah, blah, blah. But it was unwelcome. It was inappropriate sexual remarks in a professional and social situation. It was disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And you all should be ashamed of yourselves. And you all should be calling this man out. And you all should be flagging this dude for going against terms of service.
Oh, now we're trying to campaign for a mass flag against drag. So you should all be ashamed. I'm going to try and guilt you into going and flagging drag, not because I don't like his opinion. Again, that's not how that works.
Because he did violate terms of service.
No, he didn't, because his channel is still there, honey. But I can name 2 instances where you violated terms of service and had 2 of your channels monetized, by the way, terminated for violating terms of service. So, yeah. Practice what you preach there, honey.
Like I said, a woman who is a sex worker or a woman you slept with, you have no right to sexually harass. You have no right to give sexual advances to her. You have no right to give sexual remarks to her.
See, now again, she's trying to claim that there were sexual advances made to her. Drag didn't directly contact her and make sexual advances towards her. So, like, the fact that she's just making up these stories about sexual advances, she's the one that approached Drag and made inappropriate comments in his inbox about his dick and invited him and his wife to Colorado for sexy times together. You know, so, like, she's totally twisting this around. It's totally okay for Shanny to do things like this, but not for Drag, even though Drag really didn't do them. You know what I mean? Like, again, all Drag did was share his opinion on his live stream. And Shanny somehow turned it into all of these things so that she can be big mad and make herself the victim.
Because if they're unwelcome in a sexual harassment period, it's very hard to unwrap around that legal definition. And I hope everyone calls you out on it after this. I hope everyone calls you out because you need to be called out on this. Everyone should freaking cancel you because of this.
Nope.
You're a sexual predator.
Nope.
You and your brother and whoever that other guy is.
Cousin. It's his cousin, you moron. He said it how many... Like, you listen to every single word that he says, and then when he explains that the cop relative that he has is his cousin, like, good fucking Lord. It's not a brother.
Predators. Degrading a female.
How dare Drag not have an opinion?
You see that? Look at that. Look at this. You're a hog. Look at this. This is a man. Look at this is sexual harassment. This is fat phobic bullshit.
This is fat phobic.
This is disgusting. This is what kind of men these men are. This is who they are. This is how they degrade women.
But you can sit there and call Drag a predator, a rapist, a sexual assaulter, accuse him of sexual harassment. You can try and validate being able to use physical violence against him. But, oh my goodness, someone calls you a name, Shanny? How dare they?
I am not being hypocritical.
Oh, you absolutely are, 1000%.
No woman deserves to be sexually harassed, even if they did pornography.
I agree with that. Yeah, no woman deserves to be sexually harassed. However, this is not sexual harassment, Shanny, so there's that.
You fucking pigs. Do you think it's okay to put your hands on a freaking prostitute because she's a prostitute?
Like, she just got called a hog. She just got called a hog by her side chat. But then she turns around and says, you guys are pigs. And she doesn't see the irony in the statement that she just made 30 seconds ago. Like, this is how fucking clueless this moron is. Totally okay for Shanny to do it. But, oh shit, where'd my mouse go? There it is. Come here, you little bitch. Gonna have to start claiming that you're making sexual advances on me for falling down there. Jesus Christ.
To do? You think it's okay to handle her? Do you? Are you that type of man? Because if you're that type of man, I know exactly what I will pray for you to deserve.
Oh.
And I will pray for vengeance. And I do pray for vengeance over this.
Oh, this is God's gonna avenge the Shanny.
In Jesus Christ's name, I will get vengeance over this. Big time.
Really? And because if I recall correctly, you're the one that ended up losing your apartment, being evicted, driving halfway across the country into a home that you were only allowed to stay in for a couple of months before you got kicked out of there. and now you're living in a condemned house begging for money and having somebody else pay all your bills for you because you're too fat and fucking lazy to go out and get your own jobs and take care of yourself. That sounds like real vengeance there, Shanny.
Sevenfold.
Ooh, sevenfold. How
you
big
reap
and scary.
What you sow.
Ugh, yourself.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting how you violate a woman like that and talk about her body like that. It's disgusting how you think it's okay to do that to someone.
But you just shared that you think it's okay to get physically violent with someone. So why is that okay?
Ugh. Something needs to be done. YouTube really needs, how am I being harassed? When someone gives unwelcome, inappropriate sexual remarks about my body, that's harassment.
No, it's not.
That's harassment. The intent was to be malicious. The intent was to hurt. The intent was to degrade.
You're just big mad because you don't like somebody else's opinion about you, honey. Like, turn it off then. Don't watch it. Like, why do you subject yourself? Like, you're just setting yourself up to hurt yourself. If you don't like somebody else's opinion, don't watch it. It's not that difficult to do. Just turn it off. Go watch something else. Do something else.
Intent was to sexually
See, what's funny is that I heard Gary earlier talking about Shanny and Rev having their free speech violated because they were taken down again, you know, for breaking terms of service. So they're all for having their own freedom of speech. Like, they should be able to say whatever the fuck they want because free speech. But the moment that somebody else shares their opinion, then they need to be shut down and canceled because how dare they, you know, use their own free speech? Because it's only free speech when Shanny and Rev are doing it. But anybody else, absolutely not. And that's just something that I've seen kind of reoccurring on that side of the fence, that, you know, free speech only includes your own free speech. Anybody else, no, forget that. We're going to cancel you, you know, like what's happening with Disney and all that bullshit. Like, so hypocritical. Sevenfold. Yeah.
I don't know, feminists. Do you think it's okay what this man did because I was a sex worker?
That's not why he did it. I mean, there's plenty of sex workers out there that get by, but they're not shit people like you. They are not shitty, racist people like you. So, too bad, so sad.
Do you honestly believe sex workers should be treated like this? Is this how sex workers should be treated? I wasn't making any fucking videos about fucking men. Go away, psycho. Liar. He was critiquing a porn site. No, he was critiquing mine. And he wasn't critiquing. He was sexually harassing. And you could...
No, he was critiquing. And again, that's something that he's allowed to do. You're allowed to critique things. Like, sorry to break that to you, Shanny. You're allowed to critique things.
Call it critique all you want. It was unwelcome, inappropriate sexual remarks.
Ooh.
You stupid fucking idiot. It was inappropriate sexual remarks. That is not critique. Talking about how my pussy looks and smells is not critique.
I don't even... See, Drag is brave. Dragnot is super brave because I don't even want to think about the blue waffle that she's going on down there. Like, no, thank you. G-Man is victim blaming Kent Hovind's abused wife. Of course he is. It's G-Man. Why are we surprised? Like, G-Man is off in his own little reality. That there's like, there was a time where I would watch his streams and I would try and talk to him, and it's like trying to communicate with a brick wall. You're just never going to get anywhere. Just Gary is off in his own little universe and there is no reaching him, you know. And one of these days he's going to end up pissing off the wrong person and he's going to get hurt for it because he's very in your face about it. Like, why is that little ad coming up in the corner? Is it because it's not? Oh, that's right. Okay. What you doing, StreamYard? But yeah, I mean that's scary, right? I know I know Blue Waffle isn't real. I'm aware. Big mad alert, big mad alert.
Oh, you started with Fiona, too bad. So a woman deserves to be sexually harassed.
No one's saying anybody deserves to be sexually harassed.
For talking about someone that has nothing to do with you. A woman has, you see the mentality? A woman needs to be sexually harassed to be put in her place, apparently.
No.
That's how these men think. These disgusting fucking men.
Making shit up
You
again.
women are going to stand by this? Are you really going to stand by this and let a man sexually harass a woman and use you as an excuse to say, I'm protecting you as an excuse?
The way that you just claimed that you were going to lie to a cop about sexual advancements so that you could kick somebody in the balls and then use your mental illness as an excuse to get away with it? Like that, Shanny?
To sexually harass me. When he comes and rapes me, are you going to say it's for you, for your benefit? He raped you because of me. Are you going to take responsibility for that? Because apparently he sexually harassed me for you.
What?
And you're okay for that. Okay.
What? I love how Rev is just kind of mumbling off into the background. We can't really make out what he's saying, but he's most likely probably just talking to himself and agreeing with himself and agreeing with Shanny. She sounds really triggered. Oh yeah, she's absolutely triggered. She's big mad. Big mad. What I see is that if you're not validating or believing, you are harassing her. No opinion but hers counts. Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Everything that Shanny says and does is what goes. And if you go against that, then you're a hater. And she's going to sue you. And it gives her the right to be physically violent against you. And she's going to use her mental excuse as a reason to be able to be violent to you. Like, she doesn't see what she's doing. And the funny thing is that if she were to go out and physically attack anybody, we have all of this, like, footage to back up that she would use her mental illness as a crutch. Like, you know, so there's absolutely no way that she could attack Drag physically and then say, oh, well, I'm BPD. That's just what we do. When there's the video like this that exists saying that she knows very clearly that she could do that. Oh, thank you for popping up there. But she would be using it as an excuse. She's just damning herself by admitting this on camera in public. Like,
keep exposing yourselves. Keep exposing yourselves.
Oh, you expose yourself all the time, honey.
Because this is just the beginning. Because the more you do this,
you know, it should also be mentioned too that after she made this great big huge rant about being sexually harassed and, you know, people shouldn't be making comments about her body. Remember after she got terminated the first time and she went, oh, fuck, I can't remember the name of the channel now. There was a channel that's fairly well known. She went on and did like an interview and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It was the something. And she physically or she sexually harassed an entire audience because she was mad about how the interview was going. So, in order to retaliate, she pulled up her shirt and she flashed her tits to everybody in the audience. Then when he took her off screen, she was actually flashing the bottom half to the camera. So it's totally okay for Shanny to expose herself that was completely unwelcomed to not only the totally okay in Shanny's book. Where did the video go? What the hell? There we go. Oh my goodness. So it's totally okay for Shanny to pull shit like that where she can like expose herself to hundreds of people unwelcomed, but how dare Drag say anything bad about her body? Yeah, she did. I remember watching that stream. I was watching it live. And yeah, she like totally full on pulled her tits out on camera, on live, because she didn't like how the interview was going. You mentioned inappropriate sexual remarks and boom, show up. Yeah. When she was arrested, she was whining that her handcuffs were too tight and begged the cop to loosen them up. I remember that. Yep, she bitched. She bitched a lot. She tried to play the victim as much as possible, even though she was being arrested. So she's always going to play the victim. She's never going to take accountability for anything that she does. But it's funny to see how angry she is in this, only to know that like 6 to 8 months later, she would be exposing herself to hundreds of people unwelcomed, but that's okay in Shanny's book.
It's funny. The more people are going to notice, and the more people are going to realize what kind of sick person you are, and the more people are going to talk about it, and it's going to be even bigger than what any controversy I ever did.
No, that's not true at all.
Because you literally get away with sexually.
No, that's not true at all, Shanny. You made the news. You made the news for the shit that you did. Like when your channel was terminated the first time, honey, because you were broadcasting child abuse, that made the news. So don't know what to tell you.
Harassing men and women. And you use it as, I'm critiquing them. You use the excuse as, oh, I'm critiquing them. It's not.
Can you give a 20-second recap to catch up on what's happened? Yes, I can, absolutely. So this is an older stream of hers, because she was terminated the other day, for violating terms of service, ban evasion. So we're reviewing some of her older content. And this is a particular stream from August of 2020, when Drag, I'm not sure whether he posted or not. That's not something I actually know, but supposedly, according to Shanny, excuse me, Drag posted her porn on Twitter and was critiquing their pornography. And Shanny is big mad about Drag sharing his opinion about her porn. Yes, I've seen that stream. I was traumatized. Yeah, it was terrible. Like, I mean, it's one thing on OnlyFans to get yourself naked and because that's kind of what you're expecting to get on OnlyFans, right? The people that are subscribed to her OnlyFans are kind of expecting to see her in the nude because that's the kind of content that she makes. But when she's doing an interview on YouTube on a live stream, you're not supposed to get naked. But because she was pissed off and didn't like the way the interview was going, the fastest way for her to take care of that was to whip her titties out and expose herself to an unwilling, unwelcoming audience. Like, that's totally okay in Shanny's book. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense. But right now, she's very big mad because Drag shared his opinion about her pornography, which she voluntarily put out there. And she's trying to claim that he's a rapist, he's a sexual harasser, and that gives her the right that if she saw him in person to get physically violent with him. And that if she was approached by a cop, she would just use her BPD as an excuse to get away with it. But that's basically the gist of Shanny's logic.
Not a critique to sexually harass someone. If you were in the workplace, your ass would be fired. Because if it's sexual,
well, yeah, but it's not in the workplace, is it, Shanny? It's on a public forum on YouTube where you're allowed to share your opinions. So you're not in an office. So I like how you're trying to twist this scenario into something where it would be sexual harassment, so it validates it to you. But unfortunately, that's not how that works.
Shouldn't be talking about it in the workplace. And apparently this is your job now.
Holy shit, she did that on YouTube? This was after she got terminated the first time. She ended up going on somebody else's channel to he invited her to do an interview to talk about what her thoughts on about being terminated were for. And there was a lot of people that were watching that were it was Real Stream News. That's who it was. Real Stream News. So she went on Real Stream News' channel because he wanted to interview her and actually give her a fair interview to ask her what happened. And she ended up not liking where the interview was going. So she stood up on camera and pulled her shirt up and whipped her titties out. He managed to get her off screen quickly enough, but apparently she turned around, pulled her pants down, and was flashing the blue waffle to the camera. And he was like, Shanny, like, you got to stop doing this. Like, I can't put you back on camera. I can't. But she was like full on flashing all of her parts. But shit like that is apparently okay in Shanny's book. But, you know, what drag sharing his opinion on her public work is not okay. She doesn't learn, does she? Nope, not at all. Not at all. There's a time and a place for everything. Doing on it on YouTube is not that place. No, absolutely not. It's not. But according to Shanny, the rules don't apply to her. They only apply to everybody else.
So you're actually in the workplace. I could have such a fucking lawsuit. I could own your whole fucking channel at this point.
What's funny is that she was never able to pursue that because, guess what? She doesn't have a case.
Do you realize that?
No, he doesn't.
You can't call sexual harassment critique. You can't really get away with it.
There was no sexual harassment because Drake's channel never went anywhere. You were never able to sue him. So I think it kind of goes without saying that nothing ever came of this because you were wrong, Shanny.
Because it's unwelcome, inappropriate sexual remarks. Do you think other porn stars will back you? Yeah, they would.
I like how she keeps labeling herself as a porn star because she had a failed OnlyFans account. Like, her and Rev shut down the OnlyFans because she wasn't making any money on it because nobody wanted to watch their videos. But suddenly now she's a porn star and other porn stars are going to support her because she's being sexually harassed. Like, she really, really builds up that ego, doesn't she?
Because every sex worker believes that they should not be sexually harassed. They have every right to be free for who they are.
Right. Why would they not support you? Right?
They don't give a shit about you, Shanny. They don't even know who you are.
My God. Do you really want to be known as this? Do you really want to be known as sexually harassing men and women? And constantly harassing a man and saying he's gay? And constantly harassing a woman and talking about how her pussy looks and smells? Do you really want to be known like that?
I think drag is known for many other things besides that. So I think it kind of... Seeing as we're 2 years in the future from this video, we already know that your accusations didn't stick there, honey.
I wouldn't want to be known like that.
He's not.
I wouldn't really want to be known to saying anything like that out of my mouth because people are going to notice someday. And karma's really going to catch you. And you sowed so much.
It's funny. It seems like karma kind of worked in the reverse there, sweetheart, and that karma came back to bite you in the ass. Because, I mean, if you're comparing the two situations about the advancements that drag has made in the last 2 years in his personal life compared to what exactly has happened to your personal life in the last 2 years, Shanny, that's vastly different. Vastly different. Like, I mean, you and Rev kind of dug yourself into a hole that you're now hobos living in a condemned house who can't afford to feed themselves. So,
filth. You sowed so much discord. You sowed so much hatred. When you receive what you reaped, when you receive it back, it's going to hurt you so freaking bad. It's going to hurt you so freaking bad because this stuff is going to catch up to you more and more. This stuff is going to catch up to you.
I guess we're still waiting.
And more women are going to notice this and they're not going to support you. They're going
to actually, I think it's quite the opposite, that there is a lot of women that really enjoy drag quite a bit. Enough that, you know, he has the harem. And there's a lot of women that want to be a part of the harem. So I think the opposite happened here, Shan.
Tear you down. They're going to tear you apart. Because one thing I know about womankind, when we see a threat, when we see a sexual offender, we all come together with our knowing that we have these red flags.
Why did she just do the bunny ears? What's the bunny ears supposed to be? I'm a little bunny? Oh my goodness. And come together against drag. I can say again, I mean, 2 years in the future, that didn't happen, Shanny. So it looks like you were very wrong. Very Ron.
We
Very
all come
Ron.
together. We see the red flags and we take that man down because we don't want another woman harmed. We don't want another woman to feel that pain that we felt. Most women, 2 out of 3 women, have been sexually offended in some way, shape, or form. 2 out of 3. That's how disgusting you men are. That 2 out of 3 women know how sexual harassment or some kind of sexual offense is like. You have no respect over the female body. None.
None.
I couldn't watch the whole thing. It was so bad. All I saw was it was about Shanny and she should know about it. The only threat I see here is you go fuck yourself. Yep. I'm no threat.
I'm no threat, but I'm no threat, but I'm going to kick somebody in the balls because they made me upset, and I'm going to use my BPT as an excuse to get away with it. That's not a threat, Shanny. That doesn't make you a threat. Where you threaten to smack people in the back of their heads because you don't like their opinion. That's not a threat, Shanny. She's fucking delusional.
I've been felt up in a theater. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. You see this? Pipe down, Shamu, for Christ. They're trying to silence me because they know it's what he's doing is wrong.
No.
You see this rape culture that is developing within men? Where they
now we're going to go to rape culture. Oh my God, lady.
Think it's okay to degrade women? We shouldn't let this happen. We should not let this culture advance at all. It needs to be called out because if it's not called out, we're all at threat. Every single one of us girls are at threat if we don't call this behavior out and nick it right in the butt. Period.
It's nick it in the butt. It's nip it in the bud, honey. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Grape culture. Grape culture. It's just this lady, I swear. I didn't have that on my bingo card. She's grasping at straws. Oh yeah, absolutely. She's grasping at straws because she's got nothing else. And I mean, like, that's kind of why I wanted to take a look at older videos of her to see kind of the things that she says, to see how they played out. Because as we watch this entire stream, it's very obviously that none of this played out in her favor whatsoever. You know, Drag still has his channel. He's making a lot of money on his channel. There's a lot of people that really respect and adore watching his content, you know, so none of the things that Shanny has claimed here have come to fruition, including her suing a drag for this. You know, I mean, how many times have Rev and Shanny threatened to sue and nothing has ever come of it? So I mean, it's just more empty threats. And then, like, I mean, we also know that she went on to flash her naked body involuntarily on somebody's stream because she was mad at how the interview was going. So, you know, she's kind of got this double standard going on that everything that she thinks applies to everybody else but her, you know, and it's just not how the world works, you know, and she keeps crying karma, karma, karma. And it's always karma coming back and biting her in the ass for her own behavior. And yet she just doesn't see it. And we are pretty much at the end of the video. There's only like less than 2 minutes left. So I think we're going to call it there for now. But if you have a suggestion for a video that XX has on her archive channel that you would like me to review, absolutely go ahead. You can make a suggestion. I'm going to be busy over the next couple of days, but I'm looking to hopefully make it back and do a stream on either Wednesday or Thursday. And I do have a bigger stream hopefully planned for the weekend, but that's going to require some work if I can fit it in, because again, the next couple of weeks are going to be crazy busy. I have a lot of things that I need to do. I'm also supposed to be moving in 2 weeks. So yeah. She reminds me of my younger brother who, when we were little and playing Monopoly, if he was losing, he would throw a fit, sweep everything off the board, and blame everyone but himself. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That describes her perfectly, Alistair. Absolutely perfectly. I couldn't find that Irate Alex video. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I haven't watched any of Irate Alex's content. I keep meaning to because I keep hearing the name come up, but I never actually do go and watch any of it. But we rezoned those neighborhoods. Everything had to be bulldozed. Yeah. I'm supposed to be on bed rest until the 22nd, so I will try and make it here. Well, Alistair, your health is most important. So make sure that you're bed resting yourself. Take care of yourself. Take it easy, because without our health, what else we got, right? Nothing. So take care of yourself, my friend. But again, I'm going to call it quits there. I have to go out and see how bad it's snowing, because goddamn snow, it's April. It shouldn't be snowing. Jesus Christ, I don't like it. It's supposed to be. You sprained your knee badly? Ouchie. Yeah, ice it, elevate it, and be on bed rest so that you can heal. Because once your knees go, that's really bad. Walking is important. But I love you guys. You are all amazing. I still have no community tab left, but I only hit 500 subs yesterday. So I'm hoping within the next couple of days it gets unlocked. It says on YouTube that it could take up to a week to come into effect. So hopefully I'll be seeing that soon, but I will definitely be posting on my community tab as soon as it is there. But I love you all. Take care of yourself. Get some rest. Drink your water. Drink your water and take your meds if you have meds to take. And make sure you rest. I love you all, and I will see you either Wednesday or Thursday. Night, guys.